Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of The Graveyard Shift, your lovely, friendly podcast where Gal and I was going to say fuck around and find out, kind of. We are going to discuss things that we are little baby wicked demon simps for and explain it to the other person in such graphic, gross detail that the other one never wanted to know. Um, and yeah, you're here to join us in that journey. Today is a gal episode. We are both somewhat musical theater people, but I have less traditional of a journey with musical theater. And so, one of the big classic shows that I have never seen, never listened to, barely, and I mean barely, know the plot, is Wicked. And we're not going to talk about the movie here today, but Gal loves the Wicked musical, and she is going to discuss with me, and we're going to find out here today. My bet, if I'm placing a bet, I probably will not like it because I hate most things. However, I do like a good vocal track. And because this is like Broadway musical journey, there's probably gonna be some music that gets played on this track where I'm like, "Ooh, okay, bitch, eat it." And then someone else is gonna sing and I'll go, "Oh, get them off the track. Oh my god, I hate them." And that's usually how it goes for me. But without further ado, let me hand Gal the floor and we are going to discover today in our deep dive Wicked.
Yes, hello. Buckle in. No. So, I'm not gonna play every song on the track because some I just don't like personally. And some are like fillers. Uh,
Mm.
they Wicked is known to have a couple long songs. Um,
Yeah, isn't it a long ass musical? Isn't it
it's
like
a
3 hours or some
it's
shit?
a decently long musical, but it's nice because it's not all music. Like there's a bunch of
Oh, okay.
it's what's the
Yeah,
word?
it's classic traditional
Yeah,
style. It's not
it's
like Les Mis. Okay.
no, God no, it's not. It's called what are those called? Operettas? It's not an operetta.
Yeah, no, no.
It
They don't count. We don't nope.
but so I it's context why I love this musical so much. So this was um the second stage production I ever saw. Um
Nice.
the first one was an opera actually.
Huh.
um
Speak of the devil.
yeah. But no, I fell in love with the show. My aunt who's a huge uh theater nerd as well as my mom, we all went to the Kimmel Center um
Mm.
to see Wicked, and it was so good, and I had such a great time, and it became one of my hyperfixation shows. um, so, um, just before we begin, for people listening, this is gonna be massive spoilers. I will be going through the entire plot of Wicked, and I do not apologize.
Yes, and
um,
for future record of any of these episodes, if one of us starts going, "Oh, you know about this such and such insert name here," assume we're going to spoil everything. And
yes.
I mean everything. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, y'all better be ready for the most dirt under fingernails disgusting bullshit you never wanted to know because I will tell you it. When we start getting into DC lore, and talking about all the you're gonna hate your lives, okay? Um, so yes, just I'm glad Gal
Yes.
put in this warning
Spoiler
because
warning.
she cares about you all more than me. Um,
Someone has to.
someone has to, so spoiler warning. Go ahead.
Okay. So I know we're only going to talk about the Broadway production, and the
Hmm.
music you're going to be hearing today is from the original Broadway cast. So
Okay.
that's Kristen Chenoweth, Adina Menzel, and
Oh, the
yeah,
big queens.
yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
you'll be hearing from
Oh,
them.
that. Oh, okay. That era.
Yes.
Oh God. All right.
um, all of this music can be found on YouTube. Just fucking Google it. Like this song.
Yup.
So I'm dying. Okay. Um, yeah. So to begin, so we're gonna start with Act One. Um,
Okay.
this starts out with the Wicked Witch is dead. This is also all based off of um the story Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
So there's a lot of references that you will probably most likely get. Um
Now, I've been told through making fun of white Christian moms buying the original Wicked book for their children, that the original story of Wicked is like, adult because it was literally meant to be that era of let's take a children's story and turn it into old-timey gothic adult horrific. But that's the book.
yeah.
The musical is the like nice family friendly sanitized version, right?
So yeah, so the book is the friendly version of the adult book of the Wizard of Oz
Okay.
family version.
Okay. I was gonna say, because isn't
So
the original like wicked like disgusting? Like
yeah,
which I'm down for, but like
this is kind of a two steps forward, one step back kind of thing.
okay.
Um, Also, all of my notes have been written within the past 2 hours, so do with
Love
that
it.
as you wish.
Don't worry, you're gonna get so many questions and commentary from me, you're not even ready.
No,
Like,
that's
I
fine.
I barely know, and just for the record, I will say, I do know the Wizard of Oz plot. I have
Okay.
not seen I have not sat down because I don't like movies. Uh, Spoiler to anybody who doesn't know this who's listening to this podcast for some reason. I don't like movies, so no, I have never sat down and watched the original Wizard of Oz. But the plot is basic, and I've seen the old clips where it's like, "Oh, we from black and white, we have brought it into color now, the VHS collection." So I know like the old like the old classic family friendly version where it's like the dude in the lion costume
Yes.
and they go and they see the big head wizard guy. um and I know that there's like green wicked witch under the house type of thing, but that's
Yeah.
that's all I know
Okay.
about that and this and anything. So any references, point them out to me like I'm a baby.
Okay. So at least so you know like the four main characters, right? You have Dorothy.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
you mean of the original?
I'm talking about I'm talking about the Wizard of Oz. You know like the four original characters. You got Dorothy,
Yes.
Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and
Gentleman.
the Scarecrow.
The Scarecrow. Okay, yes, yes. And
Yes.
the dog, Toto.
And the dog.
Okay.
So, sad fact, I don't think the dog shows up in this.
Oh, no wonder I'm not gonna like it.
Or it's like it's mentioned once or twice. Dorothy's not a big
Okay.
part in this show at all.
I didn't even know she was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
She's in it like twice and that's towards the
Mm,
end.
mm.
So this is kind of like um the prologue to Before Dorothy.
Okay.
Um this is how the witches came to be witches. They didn't start out like
Oh.
this.
Oh, okay.
Um so the production itself starts out celebrating that the Wicked Witch is dead. So this is there it's kind of the end of the Wizard of Oz movie where everyone's celebrating like, "Oh yeah, the Wicked Witch is dead." Um and
Okay.
one of the
They
most
do that in the movie? They're happy she's dead?
yeah, in the movie
Damn.
well, she was, quote unquote terrorizing people, right?
Yes, I believe she was like meant. I get it. I just didn't know that. Like, my concept is tornado, girl go, dog, oop, find heart, brain, whatever, and then they leave and they go home, and it was a
No.
happy. Like, I don't know. I didn't know that they were like, yo, thanks for killing that bitch.
So,
Like,
okay. So let's go over The Wizard of Oz to make your life a bit easier. So, you're correct. Girl tornado. House falls on witch or
right?
that was terrorizing munchkins. Sister of which goes, who killed
Okay.
my sister, aka that's the
Sister. Oh, damn. Okay.
yeah, no. Um and is really mad about it. Dorothy gets
Okay.
shoes from Dead Witch.
Okay. The
Not
red ones.
the red ones. Yes, gets shoes
Hmm.
from from Dead Witch that house flattened.
Okay.
Then you meet the Good Witch, Glinda,
Yes. Yes. The
who says you should go to Oz, to the wizard, to Oz, to go
okay.
back home. That's the goal, is to get Dorothy home in the movie. Along the way, she meets the Scarecrow,
Right.
who
No brain.
wants a brain, the Tin Man, who wants
Mhm.
a heart, and the Cowardly
Mhm.
Lion, who wants courage.
Okay.
Also, all three of them are given weapons. One of them has a gun
What the
in the
fuck?
movie, and no one says
You know what?
anything.
Sure. Why the
Um,
hell not?
usually in like productions of the Wizard of Oz, people are given, like the Tin Man's given an axe.
I
Um,
know that. I remember that.
and
Okay.
but in the movie, I want to say it's the Scarecrow gets a gun. One
Nice.
of them gets
God.
a gun.
Cool.
So their goal is to go to the wizard in the movie. Um, Along the way, the witch is trying to get the shoes back. That's literally all she wants from the girl. and
Wait,
Dorothy
so
went no.
no, she took them?
Yeah. So
What the fuck?
Dorothy
Wait a
took
second. So you
Dorothy
tell me
took
this
the shoes off of a dead
and
person.
told nobody. Like she wasn't given the shoes. She just
No,
went, "Those
so
are."
the good witch gave her the shoes.
Wait, then why does she want the shoes back?
So the wicked witch of the west, the who's in green, wants the
The house
shoes.
one.
Not the house one. There's two.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
Sorry.
the witch that
Okay, so
gets
the Wicked Witch of
shut
the
up in the house
West.
is a different witch?
Sorry, I lied. So the Wicked Witch of the West is the house, and then the Wicked Witch of the East is the sister. The
There's
sisters.
two wicked witches?
Yes. So,
What the oh my god.
so the one that
Okay.
got flattened is of the West, or I don't care. The one who got flattened.
The fuck? Okay.
So the one who got flattened had the shoes. The one who's green wants the shoes back because they're sisters. And the good witch gave Dorothy the slippers because
What
they had
the
magical
fuck?
powers. And so
This
so the green this whole podcast is gonna be me explaining the Wizard of Oz.
I didn't know there were two witches.
Yeah.
I thought there was only one wicked witch.
No, well, one died
And
immediately, so she wasn't really relevant to the plot of the story.
that's who I thought it was. I
No.
was like, okay, the wicked witch dies from the house. I didn't know there was another one.
No, no, so your antagonist of the Wizard of Oz is the Wicked
Yeah, I
Witch.
thought it was chick who got smashed in the house. I thought she just, died
No,
but didn't die.
this is a
One of those
revenge
things.
story because her sister
What?
died because houses hurt.
This is wild to me. Oh,
So,
okay. Well,
While
okay.
Dorothy and her friends are going to Oz, the witch just wants
Mhm.
her shoes back, but is spooky
Okay.
about it, so they don't trust her.
Mhm.
And so she can be defeated by water, so she melts. That's the whole thing,
Right.
right?
I know.
So they go to they get to Oz and meet the wizard. And at first the
Right.
wizard says no. I can't give you what you want. And they get kicked
Right.
out of the wizard's place and they're all like upset and shit. And then Dorothy gets fucking kidnapped.
Wait, what the
This
what?
is in the movie.
Okay, I like I said, what the fuck? I've never seen any of this bullshit.
So she gets kidnapped by the sister who wants revenge and the shoes. And the dog because, well, she doesn't want the dog, but she kidnaps the dog. And so a third of the movie is the three friends trying to get Dorothy back.
The hell?
I can't believe you don't know this. This hurts.
I have
Anyway.
no idea.
No, you're
I
fine.
never. What the what?
So she tries to get, and then the three gents save her, and while saving her, they all found out that they had the thing that they wanted all along, and it was such a marvelous, revelation and whatever. And then it was the wizard then was a fraud because they went back to the wizard saying, "Hey, what the fuck?" Um, and the wizard's just a dude.
Mm.
And the wizard said, "Well,
He
there's
he's
actually
just a
magic in
dude
those
from the
shoes. Click your heels and say, 'There's no place like home.'" And so Dorothy does that, wakes up, realizes she didn't actually go to Oz. She was just fucking dreaming all this shit, and then went home. That's the story of the Wizard of Oz.
This fucking episode's gonna be titled 25-year-old bitch learns what the Wizard of Oz is.
You need to watch it.
Swear to
It's a
God.
pretty good fucking film.
I
And the
mean, I
music's not
definitely won't,
terrible.
but this is crazy. This is some wild. I think the only thing I've ever seen, you know how everyone's generation, like, you generally know things from the generation before, but
Mhm.
then the generation before that, you really only know like like uh, generalized versions of those things. Like how I know how the generation before us home phones and stuff, right?
Yeah,
But the
same.
generation before them, I know that they didn't have phones in their house or they had phones that were connected to like inside of the walls or whatever, but I never if you were to hand me one of those, I wouldn't know how to like wire it into, you know what I mean? Like I
Like
know
put it
what it
into the
is.
Ethernet and shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, so it's one of those things where it's like, I know of the Wizard of Oz and I know the generalization of Dorothy, the three people. They learn they had all the things with them. She meets the wizard, but he's just a head or not like real. And then she clicks her heels and she goes home. There was no like none of this other things that's happened in this tale ever came down to my
Yeah.
generation.
So, okay. So, with the witch that got this is a fun fact. So, with the witch that got flattened, she's
Okay.
the one who had striped tights, and that's why witches now have striped tights in like cartoony witches. Um,
Interest.
and so her only scene, which is not a scene to begin with, she's just a pair of legs and shoes.
Right.
Um, it's her with striped tights and slippers. Um, and I think they start out as silver slippers and become red.
I wouldn't be surprised because of the whole black and white thing.
Yeah. But once they're taken off, uh the legs start to like curl inwards on themselves before disappearing.
Oh,
And I know,
wait. Okay,
yeah.
this is weird because this is what I'm saying is like I know interpretations from interpretations of this original thing because I know the concept of the striped tights under a house curling backwards. I know the concept of like uh Disney Channel reproductions of like That's So Raven when they go to the dude and he's a floating head. Like I know several ways down the telephone line where it's been broken and broken and broken. But I don't know this is interesting. This
So
is interesting.
you need to know this for Wicked. That's why I'm gonna make
Oh
references that I
my
hope you'll
god.
get. Uh
Oh boy.
so going back to the first scene, what the people are cheering in Wicked that
Hmm.
the Green Witch is dead. The one
So
that's been
not the West. The one that I never knew existed.
so yeah,
Under the house.
not
Okay,
under
got
the
it. Got it.
house. The not under the house
Not
one.
under the house.
So
Oh, the one okay, so not under the house, the one that tried to get the shoes back.
yes. So
Got it. Okay.
okay. So the Wicked Witch of the West is the green one,
Mhm.
who is her name's Elphaba in Wicked. You'll hear that name
She's
a
the
lot.
star. Okay,
She's
got
the
it.
star of the show. The Wicked Witch of the East is the one who got the house on top of her. The two are sisters.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Damn,
we'll
that's wild.
we'll start with that. Um okay. Cool. So when they're celebrating, so all these are all like the Munchkins celebrating in the first scene.
Okay.
Um, and Glinda, the good witch, there's
Mhm.
only one good witch. You don't need,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, the one who comes in a bubble and
Ariana
shit.
Grande. I got it.
Um, she does come in a bubble in the movie. Um,
Oh.
celebrates with them, like huzzah. And
Okay.
one of the Munchkins asks Glinda if she knew her, and then we go to like a flashback. So
Okay.
this whole show, besides the first and the last scene, are flashbacks,
Got it.
basically.
Understood.
Um, so we're gonna go to the first song that you kind of heard a little bit about. Um,
I know the big like the refrain of like dun dun dun. Yeah, I know that literally just the title of the song I've heard.
No One Mourns the Wicked. Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that big belty part.
I might skip through because it's a bunch of uh music in the beginning.
Yeah, I would say you play or skip through or do whatever you want. I will commentate while the music plays, and then
Okay.
you just stop. Like I'll make remarks,
Okay.
not necessarily like commentary, but you just stop the music whenever you're done playing everything from the song you wanted me to hear, and then we'll talk about it after.
Okay. So this is Kristen Chenoweth
Yeah, I know that voice.
who play. So she.
God, Kristen. Oh. Not listen, Kristen's a wonderful, beautiful, lovely woman, talented woman. I hate this era of singing of musical theater. Hate it. Despise it. Drives me crazy. Every part of my being wants to crawl out of my skin. She's gorgeous and I respect her, and it's gonna be the exact same thing when we get to Idina or Idina, however you pronounce her name.
Adina.
Um Idina, Miss Elsa herself. It's just personal taste. Ugh. Otherwise, you may continue.
Okay. Um, almost good.
That's the refrain I know is the goodness knows bullshit. Oh my god, listen. Hopefully this recording works well because for me it skips a little bit
Yeah.
when I hear the songs. I'm hoping it records okay for the podcast. Hoping you can hear the music fluently. Hoping you can hear me fluently. In case you cannot, my entire remark during that song was God, Kristen, please shut up. Oh my God, I hate this. And then the second No One Mourns the Wicked chorus came in, I went, yes,
Yes.
the chorus saves it. Thank God. Because that is classic. The one thing, so here's the thing, I hate the solo woman style of
Mm.
this era, but I love this era of musical because the chorus
Yeah,
of this style of musical, this is like peak Jekyll and Hyde, like
I love Jekyll and
really
Hyde.
strong chorus. Yeah. Like
We
that kind of chorus is so good where it's like, okay, the star of the show is here to belt and be a little opera-y. Even the men hate it on them too. Sing it that way. Every time a lead has a song and they sing by themselves, I'm like, ugh, gross. And then the chorus comes in and goes, um, I'll use the Jekyll and Hyde one. What's the fucking murder, murder in the
Yes.
courtyard? Like the second all of the chorus starts singing, I'm like, oh, gorgeous. Oh, don't stop. Like,
See, my favorite hard tangent, but I love Jekyll and Hyde's. I love the soundtrack.
hmm
And Your Work and Nothing More is probably one of my favorite songs in that whole one.
That's a good one. I
Cause
am a
it's
disgrace
cause it's
to
just four
all Jekyll.
solos, and it's just ooh
Yeah, no,
delicious.
100%.
um,
100%.
but
No,
yes,
I'm a disgrace to Jekyll and Hyde people because and we won't get into this, but if anyone ever listens to this that likes Jekyll and Hyde, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. I like the David Hasselhoff
I also
version the
like the
best.
David Hasselhoff. It's free on you. You can watch the whole David Hasselhoff on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. Y'all gotta watch it. He's listen. I wouldn't say he's good, but
He commits, and I'm happy about
he
it.
commits.
His
Okay, I'm sorry.
confrontation is so good. Okay. Anyway,
So
so
great.
that's just a little taste of the first song. It's a good. I really do like all the ensembles in this one.
Hell yeah.
And a lot of the solo-y songs are interrupted by the ensemble, which is nice.
Beautiful. Love it.
That's why the last song of Act 1 is so popular.
Mm.
because it just ties basically the whole um like everyone together. Um,
Okay.
there are some characters I just don't like. Like I don't like the wizard in this one, and that's all based purely based off of just who he was as a character, and just he doesn't.
God tier.
He's just I'm not a fan. Anyway,
You're gonna have to let me find out because you know I'm gonna like him.
yeah, I know you will. I think at the end of this song, wait, hold on, let me play just a little bit more of this the beginning. So
That is so funny.
in the middle, the part I skipped is it plays uh a man and a woman doing ye old hanky panky.
Nice.
Um, but then a knocks at the door and the guy has to flee. I'll just say keep it at that. Uh,
Yep. Yep.
so
I know the book.
yep.
I
Um,
don't. I just know what I've been told. Okay. Next part.
so now scene changes. So that was the introduction of our green lady, Miss
Got it.
Elphaba. So she's our green uh
Mm-hmm.
protagonist. And it's their first day at university. Um, we meet Neza Rose, who is the sister. And
Ew.
she
Okay.
is a paraplegic in a wheelchair. She can't walk,
Damn. Okay.
and that's I'm gonna be really honest. That's half of her personality is
Oh
that she
no.
can't walk.
Oh
Um,
no.
it gets better slash worse at the towards later, but so far, that's she's kind of just like you know, she's the
Yeah,
younger
they wanted the
sister.
tragic part.
And it's mentioned as to why. So
Okay.
um when the mother had Elphaba, and she
Mm.
turned out green, it was horrible because I don't know
Mhm.
racism or something. And
Yep.
when she got pregnant with Rose, her mother drank some sort of like white flower thing, like milk rose or something, that got the baby so sick that it turned out crippled.
Sorry, she did this on purpose?
Yeah, so just to ensure that her next baby wouldn't be green.
What
Um,
the actual shit? Why is that mother not the okay? All right, they really said we're gonna make you try and feel for this bitch as hard as possible, cause that's
yeah, basically.
damn.
Also, the
Already.
father of both of them is the governor of Munchkinland. It is just we that's a
Interesting.
surprise
Okay.
story that'll help us later.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
so they're both starting school together. And as a gift, and Nezarose is like hardcore daddy's girl, right? Spoiled to the brim because guilt. Um, she gets a pair of uh, silver slippers for her first day, and Elphaba gets nothing because she's the disappointment.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Racism.
and then we meet Galinda, who is the pretty peppy Kristen Chenoweth, pink,
Wait,
uh,
actually Galinda
Galinda.
and not Glinda.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. But currently, she's Galinda.
Oh. Okay, got it. Okay. I'm
um,
like, wait,
no, you're fine. That's supposed to be there.
got it.
So they meet, and within like the first 5 minutes, Elphaba's like, "Ooh, I can do magic good by mistake," but plot point.
Ah,
And Galinda can do. She can smile, and I guess she has nice boobs. That's like,
yep.
she
Sounds
can.
about
She
right.
has a great smile. Um, and then there's one of the teachers, or like the headmistress, I guess, is called Miss Morrible.
Okay.
And she can control the weather.
Okay.
Um, and she goes, Miss Elphaba, you could be with the wizard because good magic and shit. Um,
Okay.
and then the next song happens. We missed one. We skipped one because it's not. It's a filler song,
It
and
don't
then
matter.
Lizzie.
That's fine.
So,
I don't give a shit.
but this is probably one of my favorite songs. In the beginning, you'll hear Miss Morrible, and then it is a solo. It's Adina Menzel. Yeah, I love
Ooh,
this song.
these track changes. Yeah, this I could see this being enjoyed by many people. the amount of times that track went from "we are a musical ballad" to "now we are a pop number" to "oh, now we're there." I'm like, "Oh, girl, no wonder you a Disney princess. What the fuck? Holy Jesus Christ!" Then
It's
she was like, "A sister who's ashamed." I'm like, "Bitch, your sister's in a wheelchair. Leave her the fuck alone. What you mean, a sister who's ashamed, bitch? What?
a sister who's
Oh my."
ashamed but also racist.
And like, what? I'm like, hold on, wait a second, wait a second, hold on. You telling me your sister, like, this family dynamic is crazy. To have a bitch who was poisoned to be paralyzed by her own fucking mother, and yet somehow still goes, yeah, but I think the Munchkins and everyone are right. I think we should be racist against you. Like, what? Like, it makes no sense. Also, hysterical to listen to somewhat early in her career, Idina Menzel, because she's putting on this, like, voice
Yeah.
for the character at the very beginning where she's like, "When I see the wizard." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bitch, what the fuck is this voice you're doing?"
And then she
And then
loses
she
it.
actually sings. Literally. Like, when she starts singing, I'm like, there she is. There's the woman who can sing. I'm like, if the director told you to put on that voice, curse that person's name because that is horrid. Horrid choices. Um, Wild. I actually really liked the chick at the very beginning.
Yeah,
Um,
Miss
I think
Marvel.
Yes, I liked her. She gave me very like Harry Potter, old craggly
Yes.
witch and wizard vibes. However, like I said, the genre track switching, not something I enjoyed because at the beginning I was like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, you're gonna go do this thing, you're gonna whatever. I'm like, okay. And she's getting towards the end, and she's like, as long as you're good, the wizard will like work with you. And there's this like real dark minor key that happens at the end of her sentence, and I'm like, ooh, gross, nasty. You're sending her up there and saying, hey, sleep with the wizard, and then he'll keep you in his, like, that is what this sounds like you're telling a 20-something-year-old girl to go sleep with the guy, her boss. That's what it sounds like. And then you get this beautiful minor key that plays into that aspect of like, don't like this. And then all of a sudden it goes from like da 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 to, it like switches to Idina, and it goes "Bene, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, I get that she's excited and that she's peppy, but that was a little too quick of a change for me.
Oh,
Obviously her vocals are god tier. Um, or I
oh
mean,
yeah.
I can't not say her vocals aren't good. Um, but like that was a little weird. The voice she
Yeah.
put on was a little weird, and then the the so here's the thing.
Okay.
This is not necessarily hating because I like a lot of I like a lot of content that does this. So this isn't a negative. This is just something that I always notice when I'm listening to stuff.
Okay.
Um there's a very specific style of
Hmm.
musical theater and sometimes regular everyday people music, um but for sure musical theater, where they just use the simplest language so that they can keep rhyming. Um, and I noticed it in the first song where they did it in a funny way, in a cute way, which works for the song, where they were trying to say all these weird words like obscene and shit so that they could end with green.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cute, that's clever. But in songs like these, it is unfortunate because it's so noticeable that like, and I can't remember what the
It
words
gets
were. I don't
worse.
have any
I'm
memory.
gonna be honest. It does get worse.
Okay, okay, because and I love a lot of musicals that use
Yeah.
very simple language. Listen. You are showing one of the considered one of the greatest musicals, Wicked, to somebody who likes the fucking SpongeBob SquarePants musical. Okay, I understand. I'm not saying it's bad to have simple language. I'm just saying it can be good in scenarios like the first song, but in songs like these where they're supposed to be personal and they're supposed to be like a part of your soul. And I really like the concept that you'll hear from a lot of stupid old theater teachers where they're like, you sing when you have so much emotion that you can't use words and you can't talk
Yeah.
anymore. I do like that concept. So to me, when you're trying to sing your heart out and you're using very plain language,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening like, ugh, are we talking to a 3-year-old? Like,
Yeah. There. So a big thing about this is that they use a lot of odd words, especially when you get to Oz and when they get to Oz, because
interesting.
that's just
Okay.
like the fantastical way that they talk. Like, remember, technically these two women were born in Munchkinland, so they were raised
Oh,
by
good
the
point.
Munchkins. So it kind of like
Yeah.
character wise, it checks out. Um, like
Hmm.
here's hold on. There's a part in the song that they use kind of. Also, I sent you a picture of what Madame Morrible or Miss Morrible looks like.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know, it's in the Discord. Um,
I will say while you look for the part of the song,
yeah.
I do like something I really like about this song, and I didn't realize it was going to be a part of this. Um, was I like that this is a musical that is including speaking to the audience as a character. Like she
Yes.
is literally being like, he won't, you think he's going to be as narrow-minded as these people? No, he won't be. I'm like, oh, she's talking to us. This isn't like a story with a fourth wall. I like that.
There's
That
a
was really,
lot of fourth wall breaks in this, which is really fun. It's
I like
mostly
that.
with the like the two main characters, but some of the side characters, like there's a couple I will meet a really fun side character, but I think it's
Oh,
in the
she's
next.
Effie from the Hunger Games.
Yeah, she kind of gives that vibe. But so
Hmm.
Miss Marvel also works for Oz.
So
Just
she was trying to get Oz a new little play toy.
no.
Motherfucker.
No.
No, she's a good guy?
Also no.
Okay, well,
But not a play thing. Just how about we don't
okay, all right. Listen, I said I have commentary. You know I
I
don't show
know
up. This
you
could be like a 4 hour long podcast, okay? It's got to be 2 parts.
do. That's we'll do act one, act two. We're only like 45 minutes in. Anyway, here, hold on. Just keep listening.
Oh God, the track change.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's like with that funky language, like they use it there.
Yeah,
Also in
superior,
the beginning,
exterior.
Miss Marble says you'll have a definition chance, which
Yeah.
I kind of thought was funny.
So here's the thing. That's not the language that like I actually kind of agree with you. I think it really fits the theme
Yeah.
and the vibe to use weird and silly words like that. For me, it's the simple language that
Yeah.
drives me more crazy. Like I can't remember it, but I'll point it out the next time it
Okay.
comes up. It's just it's when people are like having the strong feelings and it's supposed to be their I want song. This is for those who don't know musical theater. Your I want song is a very usually a ballad sung by one person, but not always.
Mhm.
And it's one of your main characters or your main character that you're following the story, and it's when they get their moment of, "Hey audience, this is the goal. This is the thing. This will be at some point the thing that doesn't come true and then eventually we
Yeah.
have to fix."
Yeah. That's
And
this.
so this is yeah, this is her I Want song.
Yeah.
And I like that section. That section you played me was great because I think that it fits the energy. She's a little weird. She's a
Mhm.
little kooky. The whole world is weird and kooky.
Yeah.
It's the ones when they are trying to express like emotions and feelings and
Mhm.
heartfelt shit and they're using words like I feel lame. I'm like, "No.
Stop
No,
it.
honey."
Yeah. I know. The end of the song is a big, like I'ma do this shit, and it ends
Love
with
it.
a really there. This whole a lot of it is the ending note is held out for like 1,000 bars. Like that's just how
Yup,
it is.
yup, that makes sense.
And
That makes sense.
it hits different, especially when you're shower singing this. Like 10 out of 10. But anyway,
Oh, wait, one more thing. I
Okay.
wanted to say, if I wanted to give them credit for this song. I'm gonna have this for every song you play. I hope you're
Okay.
ready. Um, I wanted to give them credit for one piece of that song because it was really good. It's good in your I want to also establish your like it, the not necessarily the reasons that this I want is not going to come true, but like little hints and nuances to what the trouble may be.
Yeah.
And that part of the song, the second half that you played me, where she was like, I can degreenify you. And then
Hmm.
she was like, but that doesn't matter, of course. It doesn't matter that I'm green. That was brilliant because
Hmm.
that's actually really good writing to be like, hey, it's not just everybody else is racist, go
Yeah.
fuck yourself. It's also now we're telling you the audience that she has internalized what they're saying and being green is a bad thing, even
Yeah.
though I project that it's not, even though I know that those people are racist, even though I know that it shouldn't matter, I would still get rid of it if I could.
Yeah. And that
That's
will also
brilliant
come up.
writing.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Um,
Okay.
I think we're in like act or we're in like scene 3 right now. So
Listen, this is what I'm saying. All right, you should have.
this might
This
be
is
a
what
4 hour fucking recording.
2 episodes of this. For those who don't know, what's gonna happen is anybody who doesn't get the bonus Patreon content, you're gonna be so confused come next week's
Yeah.
episode when we're into like halfway through Act
Yep.
Two.
Yep. Anyway, so, because Elphaba's good at magic, and because Glinda isn't, they become roommates. Because why wouldn't they be?
Of course.
And then this is one of the more comical songs. I think you'd like this one. This is their opinion on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the TikTok loathing song.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I know where it comes from.
Yeah, so it's fun. I really like what I remember about the scene is so they start in their like dorm room, right? So two beds and drastically different. Like hers is all pink
Mm.
and fluffy and think, like
Mhm.
um Reese Witherspoon in that lawyer movie. Like that type of Legally Blonde. There we go. Uh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then it switches to they're in like the court not the courtroom. Like the outside of the
Mhm.
school and there's like a huge fountain and stuff. That's usually how it's done.
The
And,
courtyard.
yeah, and then all like the ensemble comes on and they're all like holding books and shit and it's so good. Um I
Yeah.
just like when they're cuz in the beginning they're writing letters to their parents saying like how school's going.
Mhm.
And uh Galinda, she's kind of this that and then Elphaba goes, she's blonde. Like it's a fucking slur. I just love that part. She's blonde. You're just like, damn. And in in the production, she takes such offense to it. Like, cannot fathom being blonde. Um, no, but I really like that song. It's a good ensemble. Like it picks up as you can hear, and that was the whole song of it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think that's definitely I enjoyed that one. If
yeah,
the recording went through, people will hear me going dun 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 dun, dun,
yeah,
dun, dun as it's playing. I like that one. I think it's got good energy. The ensemble with it is good, and it doesn't like it's not one of those songs where I'm like, thank God the ensemble. Like
yeah,
they're good, but
yeah.
I actually when we're not operaticking, uh and Kristen and Idina are just singing the like harmony together, they sound great because this Idina she's a little lower. She's honestly not
Yeah,
that much lower. Um but she's got the twang to her voice
yeah, the,
that sounds really good against Kristen's nasal
yeah.
and
The
they
harmonies in
sound
these
good
are so
opposite each
good.
other. Yeah, it
Like
was really really good. Um
later, I'll play a little bit of the duet that they do, and it's so fucking good. Anyway,
yeah,
but I'm
I would believe that.
I'm gonna
But
try and
the
speed.
other thing I wanted to say about this was interesting. eh, the detail in it is interesting because it's a silly little haha loathing song, haha this is funny but enjoyable. But also the premise of the song is like, what is this feeling? This new thing that I've never felt before. It makes me feel this way. And that's an interesting thing to think about, the concept that both Galinda and Elphaba have never hated someone before.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you would know what this feels like. This ain't fucking love, right?
Yeah.
Like, most people hate people. So it's interesting to me for Elphaba, you're giving her more of the conceptualization that the only person she's ever hated is herself, which again is wild, beautiful comparison to like internalized like racism and shit, because she should hate everybody else.
Yeah.
Um, she never has, and so she's a beautiful, wonderful person. And then it's funny to have the opposite of that with Galinda, where, she's kind of like stuck up and snobby, and you expect her to have hated people
Yeah.
before because she's a stuck up, snobby little bitch.
Yeah. Thank you everyone so much for listening. Um, please follow us on our Patreon and on Rachel's YouTube, where I'll continue to tell the rest of the Wicked story and listen to some more songs. I know we didn't get too far in this one. This might be either a two-parter or like a 4-hour long stream. But thank you, and we will probably see you in the next one. Bye bye.